Compression is one of the most powerful tools in mixing, but it's also one of the easiest to overdo. If your beat sounds controlled, but somehow less musical, you may be compressing for the wrong reasons. Today you'll discover how to use compression with intention, so your mixes stay balanced, expressive, and full of character.
You're listening to the Lofi Music Academy podcast, your go-to space for all things lo-fi. Sit back, relax, and let's dive into the world of lo-fi music production.
Hi, and welcome to the Lofi Music Academy podcast. I'm Spencer J, your guide through the chilled out, atmospheric world of lo-fi beats. Have you ever added a compressor to your mix because everyone says you should, only to find that your beat suddenly feels smaller, flatter, or somehow less alive? Now, you're not the only one. One of the biggest fears producers have when learning compression is that they'll suck the life out of their music. After all, lo-fi is supposed to feel natural, human, and relaxed. So if compression controls dynamics, doesn't that remove all the emotion? Well, actually, no. The problem isn't compression itself. The problem is using it without intention. Professional producers don't use compression to make everything the same. They use it to guide the listener's attention, enhance the groove, and make every element work together without losing its personality. In the last episode, we explored how compression creates consistency. Today, we're taking the next step. You'll learn how to use compression creatively, how to avoid over-compressing your tracks, and why sometimes the best compression is the kind you barely notice. Before you even reach for a compressor, ask yourself a simple question. What am I trying to improve? Is the vocal disappearing? Does the bass feel inconsistent? Are the drums poking out too much? Or are you simply adding compression because you think every professional mix needs it? That's an important distinction. Compression isn't a requirement, it's a solution. Imagine wearing a tailored jacket. A good tailor doesn't completely change who you are, they simply help everything fit a little better. Compression works in much the same way. Its job is to support the performance that's already there and not replace it. If the original sound already feels balanced and expressive, you may not need much compression at all. Sometimes the best decision is to leave a sound exactly as it is. One reason people fall in love with lo-fi music is because it feels human. The piano breathes, the guitar gently sways, the drums have subtle imperfections, and those little variations are part of the emotion. If you compress too aggressively, you can accidentally iron out all of those details. Everything becomes equally loud, everything becomes predictable, and ironically the music starts feeling less alive. Instead of asking how much compression can I add, try asking how much natural movement can I preserve. That's a completely different mindset. The goal isn't perfection, it's balance. You want the listener to feel the performance and not the processing. Here's something many producers don't realise at first. Compression doesn't just affect loudness, it affects feel. Tiny changes in how a sound responds can completely change the groove of a beat. A kick drum that feels too loose can become tighter. A bass can sit more comfortably beneath the melody. A snare can feel more controlled without losing all its character. You're not simply adjusting levels, you're shaping how the music moves. Think of a dance partner. If they're constantly rushing ahead or falling behind, the dance feels awkward. When both partners move together, everything feels effortless. Compression helps your instruments move together, not by making them identical, but by helping them support each other. One of the biggest lessons experienced producers learn is this: just because you can compress something doesn't mean you should. It's tempting to keep tweaking, a little more compression, then a little more, then just one more adjustment. But every decision changes the feel of your music. Eventually, you reach a point where the track sounds controlled, but no longer sounds emotional. And that's why subtlety is so important. Small adjustments often make the biggest improvements. Many professional mixes use surprisingly gentle compression. The listener doesn't notice the compressor. They simply notice that the music feels comfortable to listen to, and that's exactly what you want. As you continue producing, you'll start relying less on settings and more on your ears. Instead of copying someone else's compressor preset, you'll begin asking yourself questions like, does this instrument still feel expressive? Has the groove improved? Can I still hear the natural dynamics? Does this support the emotion of the track? Those questions are far more valuable than memorising ratios or attack times, because every song is different, and every performance is different, and every creative decision should serve the music. The more you listen critically, the more compression becomes less of a technical process and more of an artistic one. Eventually, you stop thinking about compressors altogether. You simply hear when a sound needs a little more support. Today we explored how compression can strengthen your mix without taking away the warmth and emotion that makes lo-fi so enjoyable. Compression isn't about forcing every sound into a perfect uniformity. It's about helping each element find its place while allowing the music to breathe. Used thoughtfully, it creates confidence without removing character, and used gently, it adds control without sacrificing emotion. As we wrap up our compression module, remember this: the goal isn't to hear the compressor. The goal is to hear the music at its very best. And remember, great lo-fi isn't created by controlling every detail. It's created by knowing which details are worth controlling. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider subscribing, leaving a review, or sharing it with fellow music producers who might find it useful. Until next time, keep creating, stay inspired, and remember, it's all about the vibe. Take care and see you in the next episode.
Thanks for tuning in to the Lofi Music Academy podcast. If you're ready to start making lo-fi music and want to go even deeper, grab your free guide. Discover the 6 essential steps to create a release-ready lo-fi track from scratch. Whether you're using budget gear in your bedroom or a small home studio, this guide will help you get that polished, dreamy lo-fi sound you're after. Just go to www.lofimusicacademy.com. Until next time, keep creating those laid-back vibes, and don't forget to subscribe for more lo-fi tips and tricks.